Our second speaker will be sharing a tale of love, food, childhood memories, and social blunders along the way. From Project 1 in the entertaining speaker manual, his speech is Gender 80. Please welcome Mr. Aaron Kelton.
It's been such a long time since I last spoke that whenever the speaking opportunity came, Sujay sent out an email, I couldn't hesitate. Before I ask you to lift your hands and answer a question for me, think about the difference between like and love. How many of you love to cook? Okay, all right. Saw some adamant hands shooting up. How many of you are like me, and you like to cook, but you love to eat? Hopefully that's all of us, yeah. I live to eat. And I don't know if you've eaten yet or not, but I think after this speech you may be salivating so much that this is actually an economy boosting speech. You're just going to run down the road to Pizza D's, grab a big old pie and maybe a cold beer and wash it down. Let's see, I saw Nisha visit. Nisha, what is one of your favorite dishes to make?
Chicken biryani.
Chicken biryani. That is awesome. And that's good. Have y'all had chicken biryani? Yeah? Go to Taj Mahal once in a while? Let's see, I saw Paul over here. What do you like to make? What do you love to make?
Lemon coffee seed muffins.
Lemon coffee seed muffins. Very, very nice. Sandra, aren't we having a potluck coming up pretty soon?
Yes.
All right, we're all taking notes. Okay. Some of my best childhood memories were Thanksgiving and Christmas. My dad had 4 sisters. So when we'd go to Granny Mom's house, on my father's side, that's my grandmother, we would always have so much food in overabundance. I know abundance will suffice enough, but it was in overabundance. And my aunt would make this thing called blueberry banana pie. Have you ever had a blueberry banana pie? It is out of this world. I liked it so much and gained such a reputation that one Thanksgiving, I was accused of stealing and hoarding one of the 2 that my aunt made. And she was adamant. I know you took it. Later she found it in the trunk of her car. But yeah, we still poke fun of her. Yeah, poke fun at her because of that. But she seems to have forgotten that and still insists that I actually took it and hoarded it. So when I wasn't at Thanksgiving, during Christmas time, I'd go to Nanny Pat's. That's my mother's mother. And my mother had 4 brothers, so you think, oh, we're doing is barbecue. That's pretty boring, right? No. Their wives were slaving away in the kitchen, let me tell you, along with my Nanny Pat. And have you ever heard of mudslide? See, I run this by them so much, and they're like, mudslide, what is that? It is one of the best creamy, chocolatey, graham crackery concoctions that you could possibly make. Just a little dish. And it's pretty easy, I think, too. I need to get that recipe and make it sometime. That potluck coming up, I know you're all taking notes too, not just me. At one Christmas, Nanny Pat asked me, Erica, would you like a slice of ham? I said, no, Nanny Pat, I don't really care for ham too much. She goes, well, why not? It tastes great. I said, well, it just sits there. She goes, just sits there? What do you expect it to do? Get up and run around and squeal like a pig? But if you compare it to a sizzling steak or a good old big country fair turkey leg, when you slice off that ham, it kind of just lays on the plate. It doesn't do much. It's kind of boring. But time at Nanny Pat's was more than just food. During the summers, I would go there during my younger school days, and me and my cousin Ross, who was just a year younger than me, we would go swimming. There was a creek running behind our house. We'd go fishing. We'd make bows and arrows and try to shoot each other's eyes out. All the good stuff that young boys do. And we would even sneak into the neighbor's property, which we weren't supposed to do, because he had this old rickety dock that hung out over the creek with this rusty chain, right? So we'd swing off of it, no life jackets, of course, and it was like 12 feet deep. And then, so after a long afternoon of swimming in the creek, we'd be walking to the house and we'd hear, boys! Oh no, she's on to us. She'd say, boys, would y'all like an ice cream sandwich? You bet I would. Whew, escaped that one. You know, that's one of the best treats after a good summer swim. Now, just like the comment I had about the ham, we kind of view things in a quirky way sometimes and make a few faux pas here and there. I remember at one Christmas, I was in Abilene, my nanny Pat had mailed a quilt that she made from her hands, right? And some of the patches were from Granny Flo, my great-grandmother. And I remember, wow, this is so cool. This is so much better than like a Nerf gun or anything like that, football, because she put time into it. Wow, that was really thoughtful. So when we were passing the phone around, I said, Nanny Pat, it's really the thought that counts. And I didn't know that that actually meant something else. And the kitchen table around me just erupted with laughter. It's the thought that counts, what? And I don't know, maybe Nanny Pat was on the other end looking at her arthritic hands like, oh, what have I done? But no, my mother had to take the phone and explain to Nanny Pat that actually it was my favorite gift of Christmas that year. But then also that same Christmas, we were sitting at the supper table, and have you ever had a hamburger on those onion buns? You know what I'm talking about? It's the best buns to have a hamburger, not the regular sesame type. And maybe I was just hungry or something, but when I was biting into it, I just thought, tender, ain't it? And I said it out loud. And my sisters, well, the two older sisters, they stop and look at each other, and the table gets eerily silent. Everybody just starts laughing. Of course it's tender. It's hamburger meat. Think of things in a weird, quirky way sometimes. One of the funniest faux pas, social blunders around cooking that I've ever done was I love peanut butter cookies. Anybody else in here like peanut butter cookies? They're just so easy to make. So when I was a kid, I didn't have a lot of this expertise. And so I was making cookies, and my mother comes in. She goes, but why are they on wax paper? I said, well, the recipe called for a cookie sheet. And she just burst out. I've never seen my mother laugh so hard. It wasn't just laughing and done. It was like buckled over, hands between the legs, didn't stop. It got her thinking about it for a while, actually. I've since learned from those ways, and when I studied abroad in Norway, I discovered open-faced crisp bread sandwiches, and I'd like to share with you some of these today. Do you help me, Jim, pass some of these out? Now, what I have here, open-faced crisp bread sandwiches. You don't have to take if you don't want to. If you have a napkin in front of you. On some of these, there is a sun-dried tomato pesto with a slice of mozzarella and prosciutto. And on the other, there's a blend of a sun-dried tomato pesto, a Swiss cream cheese, and turkey pastrami. You can pass if you'd like and take one of the others. What I have in my hand here is the prosciutto. Y'all need to pass that around to the rest of you. So maybe you're salivating, maybe you're not. I'm not the world's best cook, but this makes for a great summer dish because it's easy, it's light, it's cool. And just remember, bon appetit, Mr. Toastmaster.